Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I trust you've read the usual message. If you haven't, please read it and familiarize yourself with its contents. And I would love it if you could turn your videos on. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine as well. So, hello. It is intuitively known already and fully that, and non-verbally, that we are whole and complete. We need nothing. But it's not known, because it's known non-verbally, it's not known in those words. I'm just using words to express that which is intuitively and already non-verbally known by everyone. We could say, figuratively speaking, that this is known in our hearts. It's a sense. It's a sense we have. But when the mind is given, when the mind is given over importance, when we give too much attention to the contents of thinking, contents of the mind, we can lose touch. We can lose connection with that basic intuitive knowing. As we start to believe the thoughts and the culture and the conditioning that tell us otherwise. Our heart tells us we are unlimited. Our minds tell us we are limited. Our hearts tell us there is no birth, no death, just eternal life. Our mind tells us we are born, we live a while, and then we die. And we are generally reliant on the mind for our understanding and our information. So we are slaves to the mind. And we're used to trusting the mind, and we're not so used to trusting our intuitive knowing. Now, because if we do place undue attention onto the contents of the mind, which spins its tale of limitation, which tells a story that we are limited, then there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between our heart, our intuitive knowing, which says all is well, we are infinite beings of love and peace, and the mind, which says otherwise, which says we are limited body-mind entities, subject to birth and death. And this difference between what the mind is saying, what the heart is saying, can arise as seeking. Because we know that it can be different. And yet we suffer and we feel limited. And yet we know, somehow we know, we have a sense that it doesn't have to be like this. Now, to navigate our everyday life, the mind is vital. Thinking is vital. And I don't have to tell you how, in the many ways, thinking is important to daily life. But in the spiritual quest, certain types of thinking get in the way. And it's these concepts of limitation, concepts, ideas that we are limited, that are the root cause of so much woe, misery, pain, anxiety, fear. And when we remove the conditioning at the level of concepts, at the superficial layer of concepts and beliefs, and then right through to the depth of our bodies and our beings and the subconscious and all habitual tendencies, then the suffering that goes along with that wrong way of seeing things is also removed.